Hi, everybody. So, yeah, y'all, I decided to go live and talk with y'all a little bit because I got this warning, y'all, and I want y'all to take this seriously. First of all, God wants divine ones rich as possible very soon, okay? The Creator wants you rich very soon as possible. But please take this warning seriously, okay, y'all? I'm gonna wait till we get more people in here. Y'all, I'm learning how to be real slow and soft with what I'm doing, just slower because the energy is wild. It's passive aggressive right now, and I don't have time for it. Okay, come on in, everybody. We're gonna wait till we get more people in here. So take this warning very seriously, y'all. Stop outsourcing your power. Divine ones, shut it down. And I'm going to explain what outsourcing your power is and how do you know when you're doing it. Okay. We're going to get deeper into this subject because it's the reason why we have the wrong people rich and we have some people who are supposed to be rich, they're not rich. We're going to talk about that. There is an actual scripture that actually says, don't outsource your power. And you will fall into judgment if you do that. You may not know that the karma that you're getting is negative is because you outsourced your power. Maybe you did it by accident, or maybe you did it thinking you was just helping people, or you was just getting your abundance. But the Creator never wants you to get your abundance outsourcing your power. Now let me explain, because the new year is coming. For some of y'all, it's the new year. This is the time to do things differently with your energy, to make smarter choices, and to be more educated on how you have been blocking your abundance, how maybe you got in your own way, how you've been sabotaging your success. So, outsourcing your power, it means showing people the way you do it, showing people the bones of your process. A good magician can manifest fortune, a lot of it, a long time throughout their life because they don't show the bones of their process. For example, nobody really knew what the inside of Michael Jackson's house looked like until he died. Only people that knew was the kids that were there and his staff. Nobody knows the equipment that Prince used to record his songs. Nobody knows his process. Nobody knows the time that Prince even writes his songs. Nobody knows when he gets inspired. Nobody knows the muses or the heroes that Prince have. Nobody knows when Prince will drop an album, what it will be about, or how he's finishing the album. Nobody knows. Prince don't even carry a cell phone. He is that secretive that he don't even want people to be able to reach him at any given time they want to. He's making sure no one can connect to his energy during his creation time unless he calls them. because he knows the importance of protecting the bones of your creation. Okay? When God tells you that certain colors are for you, you don't tell other people. You don't sit around with your girlfriends and say, I look good in purple. God tell me that purple is abundant for me. You don't say stuff like that. You don't even tell people what your abundant diet is. You don't tell people what gives you most of your energy. All of that is supporting the bones of your manifestation, of your destiny. So even if you have gotten all this knowledge about how to do something, the only time you share the bones is with someone who have come to you humble with gratitude and respect, and you have some sort of contract and they understand the consequences of not respecting it. This means you're supposed to have an apprentice. You're supposed to have an apprentice. Let me say it again. You're supposed to have an apprentice. You're not supposed to have this worldwide club with an open door policy of anyone able to come get your bones. Most people, they will never admit that they used your bones to get what you're getting. But if you have an apprentice and you have them put their name on a contract in which they have signed, then you have the proof that you gave them your bones. So if you are trying to get success and fortune off your soul contract, you're only supposed to present the outcome, the result. You don't show what you used. You don't show all your steps. You must hide some of the process or all of it. For example, I started showing up in my videos with a journal that looks like this. I did. And a book. And that's what I started showing up with when I was doing my psychic reading, psychic guidance. Next thing I know, the same psychics that I told y'all about, they're showing up with the same thing. What this tells me is that they're coming to get my bones. Some people, their intuition is blocked. They're in judgment. They're having intuitive negative karma. So they are running around trying to find bones. Okay? Healthy bones. They can use to get money. Until you get all your money, or most of it, no one sees your bones. No one. That means not even your kids, because don't get it twisted. Witches will ask your kids about your bones. In-laws will ask them about your bones. If you are trying to get your money from God, you have no choice but to have a private space that no one you know knows about or access. For example, August Wilson is one of the most famous playwrights in history. August Wilson wrote his award-winning plays outside of his home. My mother knew August Wilson very well, grew up with him, and they were good friends, and he did have feelings for my mom, okay? He had strong feelings for my mom. But August Wilson didn't even write around my mom. He didn't even write around the woman that he had feelings for. See, that tells you right there that you if you look at protecting your bones just as important as the manifesting process, then you're already 80% home free with getting your fortune. Most people, once you tap in to your destiny, the skills, the ideas, and everything's going to come. You just have to not be reckless with it and messy with when you're doing it. And this is something that I realized. I recently canceled all my PDFs. As much as I would love to publish these PDFs and tell everybody what I know, what would that do for me? I'm just keeping it real. If I publish these PDFs with everything I know about accessing my specific type of power, about understanding psychic stuff and spiritual stuff on a high vibrational level, and I teach everybody that, my own fortune is going to come to a screeching halt. No one's going to care that I copyrighted those PDFs. Maybe a few people. But some people, all they're going to do is redefine it, rework it, put it on YouTube, get my money, get my fans, and all kind of what wild, sick stuff just to snatch my bag from me. I couldn't understand why I kept seeing the angel number, don't outsource your power, don't outsource your power, don't. I didn't know what they were talking about until I was ready to do it without even knowing that I was. So the thing is you have got to have faith that the result of you using your power will bring you the money, that you don't need to show people how. You don't. You don't need to show people how to write poetry. If anybody noticed, those books never really sell a lot. How often do educational creative books sell a lot? Do you know why they don't? Because people think they're entitled to it and think they can use it for free. They'll go get it off the dark web. They'll get it off Kindle as a gift. People think they're entitled to the bones of your work. But when you create the work and they don't know how you did it, then you're forcing them to humble themselves, to study your work, to figure it out on their own. So you're bringing those people to another humble level and recognizing and having to acknowledge your power. They cannot skip it because they have to study your work to figure it out, and they have to ask God whether they're right, because you didn't give them the bones to teach them how. So create your work and leave the bones for your children or your loved ones. Leave it to them to know how you did it. To someday maybe tell the world after you're dead, after you are buried with your fortune, after you have created your name, a legacy. You die, and then everybody knows your bones. If your family and friends want to tell everyone. But until then, they only should know the work. And I'm saying this very seriously, y'all. No one cares about most of the people. I'm talking about no one because we're in a majority of a low percentage of divine ones. It's a high percentage of non-divine people. So we'll say no one in the matrix, no one who's an agent in the matrix really cares whether you know they took your bones, whether people are laughing at them and saying, ha ha ha, you copied. They know what they say. I still got my money. I still got some of your money. They don't care. You can argue all you want. You can out them. You can expose them on YouTube. You can write articles. Guess what? They still got their money. Unless you're going to sue them in some long lawsuit, they don't care. So you might as well not show your bones. I made the mistake of showing some of my bones in a book that I published about writing poetry. And you know what happened? People got my book. They didn't even say thank you. They didn't even post a review. Half of the people didn't even hit 5 stars. But yet I could see the book was being picked up over and over and over and over and over again. Over and over and over again. I went to a person's site. They took my book, and the book was downloaded like 400 times. That person made about $4,000 off my book. And not one of those people that downloaded my book ever contacted me and said, I like your book. Nobody sent me any money, and I wrote the book. Guess what that tells you? No one cares of honoring you about getting your bones. They don't care. So after that lesson, I unpublished my book, unpublished it, and will never publish it again. I also canceled all publications teaching about psychic abilities, teaching about I don't even want to say it because I'm scared that's showing my bones. Y'all, you have to be very careful. Teaching about all spiritual stuff. I cancel all the PDFs. I might leave it to somebody who I'm talking to right now. There is a very special person on this channel who always see about me, who have contributed so much to my growth. I might be leaving all my bones to them. They're not even a family member. But I'm not selling any of it. And I'm no longer going to be showing what I'm using. I'll be sitting here talking to y'all. I'll be sitting here on my psychic channel. I'll give out some guidance, but I won't. That's coming straight from the scriptures, or straight from a book. But I'll never show what I'm using. It's better to show up empty-handed like this when you want to do what you're going to do, so that people have no choice but to get to know you, earn your respect, earn your love, to find out how you do it. But most people know what they're going to say? Oh, I'll go on to somebody else to learn how to do it. Because there's always a fool who don't know to hide their bones. They know they can go somewhere else, and someone else will show their bones. Because we're living in a world where people are so thirsty to get that money so fast that they're running right to show their bones. They think that they'll get all the money if they just show their bones. They don't believe that the result of what they got from the bones is enough to get them rich. They don't think that. They don't think that their name being passed out is enough to get them clients, one-on-one clients, to get them rich. See, they believe that if they just throw it all out there, out into the open sea, all the fortune will come. People don't want to go from person to person to person to person. Like, I teach you, and you pay me a nice good sum. You sign a contract, non-disclosure contract, and then I go to the next person. Or you recommend someone to me, and they sign the same contract you signed, and they pay the same good sum of money to me. A lot of people don't want to do it that way no more. They want to just go around and say, hey, they want to throw it over a building to society and hope that everybody will throw money up over the building to them. And it doesn't happen, and they say, the Matrix is cheating me. But what do you expect from the Matrix? It's the mother effing Matrix. What do you expect from this system? We know this system. So many people are corrupted, entitled, narcissistic, psychopaths, sociopaths, blending with a couple of each, entitled, racist, privileged, all kind of stuff. Retaliating against the system, acting entitled. We know this. You don't have time to sort it all out. You don't have time to use your intuition to figure out, okay, how many people will do this, will run off with my bones, or how many people will pay me for them. You don't have time for that. All you have time to do is one-on-one clients, and sell the product that has come from your bones. That's all you have to do. That is safer. That is safer, financially safe. I know some of y'all are like, I ain't never heard Miss B do it like this. Well, we are entering a very, very fortunate time period coming up very soon. Okay? We've all been having to push because, that energy up there that's been making us push and push and push. But we have to learn how to set up boundaries, okay? Financial boundaries. Once the Creator makes it easier for you, you tap into your genius abilities. What you have to work on is boundaries. In Divine Ones, we are weak at setting up boundaries. The wicked people will set up boundaries to try to block your light, to get rid of their dark. We have to set up boundaries to prevent the dark from taking over our light or running off with it and wearing it as a light suit. So at some point, you just have to say, I have to bet on the results of my bones. Yeah. And if I feel like I want a little extra money, I'll go ahead and get me an apprentice and have them sign the non-disclosure contract. And I'll, charge them a fee. That's some extra little bit of money coming in. See, that is the dessert. Sharing your bones with someone is so special that's like dessert. That's like you getting sweet potato pie. The dinner is the profits that you get from the final result that came from your bones. Okay? The appetizer is all the little teasers that you get to say, it's possible. This is what you got to work with. You got support. All those little synchronicities. We have to honor that, okay? That we have to honor the table, the way the table is set up. So, even if you have family members and you're like, oh, I'm showing them my bones because they're struggling. They don't even get it for free. They don't even get it for free. You know how they pay for it? By doing your funeral. You tell your attorney, hey, after they do my funeral, And if the funeral is pleasant, then you give them the bones. You give them this book, this journal on how I did this stuff. But if you are still alive, you must charge everyone for your bones. Every single person. Take it from somebody that know. I did not charge certain family members for my bones, for the knowledge and things that how I did certain things. And they are walking around pretending like I never gave it to them. They didn't say thank you. They won't even remember my birthday. They won't even come visit the channel and give a donation. They won't even buy me one thing to support what I did with my bones. Nothing. But that's not how they acted before I gave them my bones. They acted like we was family. See what I'm saying? I should have said, that doesn't matter. My bones can keep you getting it and getting it and getting it and getting it and getting it. And you can compete with me when I give you my bones. So I need to charge you, whether you're family or a friend. And this is something that I learned. I got people running around here acting like somehow they got struck by the mind of God and knew how to do it. They don't even care about me. They ghosted me once they got the bones. There's people on the channel who did it to me. They called me up, and once they found out how I did it and had me explain something that they needed to know how to do, and I did that for free on those phone calls. Those people aren't calling me no more. Those people aren't calling me no more. If people will pay you, let me tell you, if someone will pay you, continuously pay you for the end result of your bones, then maybe you might want to give them a discount on the purchase of your bones. For example, love the Most High. I hope you're listening, Miss Lady. Love the Most High is like ride or die for this channel. Ride or die for this channel. I can offer her a discount on my PDFs that is bones, because she regularly supports the appetizers, the content that I'm willing to make public, the end result of when I do what I got out of the bones. She regularly do. Sometimes she just sends me stuff to say, you know what? And I can feel that it's her keeping me motivated. Keeping me motivated. So I could give her a discount on my bones. She is consistent. Even if she just emails me sometime. Consistent. But y'all got family members that's not consistent, and y'all letting them see everything, how y'all doing things. What do you think is going to happen if you die? They might go ahead and tell everybody that they taught you. They might go ahead and put their name right on the credits of the work that you did before you died, because they got the bones of your work, and they can say, hey, you was collaborating with them. So they want some of the royalties and profits. So they could be blocking your kids. Other family members might block your kids from that money because you let them have access to the bones so they can try to claim credit. And then your kids don't even get the legacy money. There's a famous family that's been fighting in court for years because of this type of situation. I forget the name of that family, but there's some of the family members are claiming that they helped create it or whatever and all this other stuff. And there's other family members saying that they didn't or whatever, and now they're all fighting. The judge finally just like canceled the whole court case and said nobody's getting nothing. But now you see why it's important to keep your mouth shut. to maybe pick one person that you really trust and is willing to put their name on the dotted line contract to show your bones to. And that's it. That's it. And that person normally is someone that was there through it all, from the very beginning to the end. But if you want to be safe, it's better to not show nobody and die without telling anyone. Like William Carlos did. Nobody really knows how William Carlos wrote that poem, Just to Say. Nobody really knows. Nobody knows what time of day he wrote it. Nobody knows what was his inspiration or what conversation he had with his wife that had him write that. Or the wheelbarrow poem. Nobody knows what he used. Nobody knows. He's the labeled the creator of images poetry. Nobody knows to this day. Here he was a doctor and an images poet, like Clark Kent, Superman. He was Superman as an images poet. He was Clark Kent as a doctor. That was his other identity. He was a doctor. But on his days when he wasn't a doctor, he was an images poet. But he never showed anybody his kryptonite or where his home. Nobody knows where Superman lived at but Lois Lane. Okay? With the exception of Superman 2, when he had to trick those bad guys. But other than that, nobody knew Superman's getaway but Lois Lane. So the point is, you got your bat cave, you got your bat stuff, and that's it. It always amazes me when I look at people's YouTube channel and I see that they like showing their whole bookshelf. Do you know that your bookshelf can tell people all about you? I have a bookshelf over there. I never have it on the video. Never have it on the video. Because I already know that people will look and they'll go get it. See, let me tell you, your environment shows people a little bit more about your frequency. So even if you're not directly telling people about your bones, your environment is showing people. Okay? So this is why it's important that even if you're going to be on YouTube and doing this, if you're going to show anything in the background, you better be ready for somebody to simulate it, imitate it, or whatever. Say it's up for grabs. See this? This is up for grabs. That's why I got this here. This is up for grabs. This ain't my quote. I didn't write this. But this is up for grabs. I think this is public domain. That's why the author's not there. It's public domain. But the point is, I want everybody to see that. But what y'all don't see is my resources. Okay? You don't need to show your bones to prove to people that you knew what you were doing, that you didn't just get lucky. Who cares? So if somebody think you're lucky, oh, you just got lucky. Oh, you might have stole that information. If somebody feels that way, who cares? You don't have to show your bones to prove anything to anybody. That's what I was doing. I was like, see, y'all, I'm using this. I was trying to prove to everybody that I can use something to do it, which means I was actually kind of insecure. The fact that I had to show y'all what I was using. So now I don't do that. I just be like right now, and I'm going to go hit off screen for a minute, y'all. Give me a second. Literally just had it. Well, I don't know what I did with it, but I literally just had it sitting right over here. So, for example, I can sit here and do something right now. Okay? Y'all can't see what I'm doing. But that's the beautiful thing about a musician. Because let me tell you something what happens when you show people your bones. People will use what you used against you. They will say, ha, you had to use a book of quotes. You ain't tapped in. You ain't connected to God. You had to use a book. Some people be so jealous of your power, they will micromanage every little step to devalue the process, the bones, so that you might be tempted to sabotage your own growth. Hi, everybody. No. Hold on, y'all. I'll be right back. I don't know what happened. I just literally had those books. I wanted to use them today in today's video, but I guess I'll do it tonight. So, for example, okay, I'm off screen. Okay, when you are using your resources, you should be able to hide them. See how I'm hiding? See how I'm hiding? I'm just showing y'all. Okay, like a magician do. Hide something up your sleeve. People actually like mystery. And the people that complain that you're not showing your bones, those are people who want your destiny. And they know it. Because why should they care? Why should they care that you're not showing? So I just got this for y'all off screen. God will catch you. Okay? God will catch you. God will catch you when you fall. When you find yourself without a solid footing, call to God. Okay? God will always catch you when you fall. So, I know I've made mistakes. Things haven't worked out the way I hoped. The support I was expecting has evaporated. I can't turn this around on my own. If this is the dream you planned for me, I need you to build a bridge across the chasm stretching out for me. You're the only one who can, even if you don't. I trust you to pick me up and put me back on the right path. In God's name, I pray. So, that's going right what I'm saying. Some people feel like they're not getting the support. They're chasing the support. So they're like, if I do more, give more, if I show my bones, if I be generous, I won't fall anymore. People will support me. Let me tell you, no. You won't get more support. You're being clingy. When you show the bones of your work, you're clinging more. You're clinging too tight to the fear of, what if I don't get it? I have to be sure that I get it. So I'm trying to get it faster by showing my bones. I want to try to increase by showing my bones. Maybe I'm guaranteed to get it. You're clinging too much. You're being too clingy. This is why I started just, I'm gonna give y'all an advice here. This is how you know when God wants you to share a nibble, a crumb of your bones. A crumb of your bones is when it's easy to remember. When it's easy to remember before you go to share it. So let's say you look at your process and it's on paper, okay? Or you're thinking about it and you instantly remember a tiny little part. Then that could be very well the part that God is saying, this is protected. This little part of your bones is protected. Very protected. So you can share that. You can share that. But if you got to sit up there and meditate on your process and try to remember all your process and try to, like, I'm going to go through this. I got to write it all down. And read from the list. No, God don't want you to share the bones. God do not want you to share the process. Somebody want to send me some music. I have an email. What music are you trying to send? Okay, you can email to me the music, but make sure that that it's not, not in dark. Okay, all right. No NWA music. So that's what I learned. Like, for example, y'all. Okay. Why do you want to send me some music? You want to uplift my spirits? I need uplifted. Did I ask you? Did I give you some sort of vibration that I needed to be uplifted? I'm supposed to uplift myself. I read that for y'all, for everybody. I don't depend on no one to uplift me. Now that's another thing. That's another thing I want to talk about. Uplifting people when they didn't ask you to do it. People will share their pain, like thinking you know people's bones, like if their process is struggling or if they need work, if they need your support with their process. You're crossing emotional boundaries. You're crossing energy boundaries. And I talked about that on this channel before. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Even when you're low spirit, it's working for you. So don't be so quick to be like, oh, I'm getting high spirited. I'm not going to get into that download. I'm not giving no downloads for free. I'm not giving too many downloads for free. So I'm going to shut up. I'm going to shut up with that. But stop chasing high spirit, uplifting energy all the time. Everything is working for you. The low and the high. The low and the high. People have created some magnificent stuff. Being low spirited. Being sad. Okay. All right. You're not a friendly. Bye. Okay. Cross emotional boundaries. Let's continue. Okay. Woo, I tell you, people will find any way to step into other people's power. They will try to find a way, like just happened. But as I was saying, y'all, just make sure that and that's another thing. When you show your bones, you're showing so much of your power that you actually will get attacked even more. So if you want to increase the attacks, show your bones. And when you tell people, I'm not teaching nobody how to do it, people will cross emotional boundaries, like what just happened to me. This guy crossed emotional boundaries, trying to have some say about my spirit once he saw my power. And this is what I'm talking about. People will become passive aggressive when they study your power and they get to know it too well. It's better that people can study your power at a distance. At a distance. Some people think they know how I got my power, and they think they know me with my power because of the color of my skin. They think they know. Oh, she did. She's a dark witch. She's a brown skinned woman. She used dark witchcraft to do it. People think that, okay? People say, oh, Kamala, she lost the election, so this black woman probably needs some uplifting. But it's funny. It's only when we show our power. When I'm sitting there silent as a woman of color, and I don't show my power, No one crosses my emotional boundaries. No one crosses them. But when I show my power, here they come. This is why it's very important to find ways to show your power when you are not around. This means in audiobooks, uploading the videos sometime, pre-recorded videos, books for sale. That way you are at home minding your own business while everyone is getting to know your power. Live videos allow people to think they know someone's power. Like, I'm sure there's people sitting here thinking they're reading on me. When you can never get an accurate reading without permission. There's no such thing as an accurate reading without permission. So there's some people that think they're pulling tarots and they're pulling oracles because, ooh, she's tapped into her power. Let me see if I can go behind spiritual lines and see what she's working with. So then they pick certain things to say in here because they think they're right. And then when I kick them out, they get triggered. When I call them out, they get triggered like that guy did. You know when people want your power. When you set up boundaries and they still don't honor it. That's how you know. If you say, don't tell me what I need for my spirit, like I did, and somebody say, well, I was just trying, they want your power. Because they should say, okay, I'm not going to tell you what to do with your spirit. I apologize. I don't have nothing to say about it. You didn't ask me for something, or whatever. Did you notice that guy? Let me show you how narcissism works when it comes to showing your power. You show your power, and then the narcissist, like that dude in here, he asked me if he could send me music. He waited for me to say yes, and then said it's uplifting. Did you notice he didn't say, can I send you uplifting music? Because he was trying to trick me to let him dictate my spiritual level, to determine it, which means he was trying to get some sort of confirmation for whatever he think he got from me intuitively. But I'm not here, like you are not here, to give confirmation of anyone else's intuitive power. We are here to get fed, and we are here to serve. So I don't accept guidance unless I ask for it. If I come knocking on your door, okay, I want the guidance. Because if you give me guidance to my power and I didn't ask for it, I have no way of really knowing your motivation behind that. When you are showing your power, you have to keep in mind, and people who listen has to keep in mind of the scripture, come unto me and I will set you free. That's what God say. That's what God say. You come to church and I will set you free. I should not have to kick open your door. I should not have to say, I think this about your spirit, so can I give you this? Or try to be covert about it so you can come to my church. God doesn't work that way. And if you're in the middle of showing your power like I was, and someone comes trying to bring church to you, you already know there's something about the devil. Okay? You already know there's something about the devil. Oh, thank you very much. That's so sweet. You already know. Especially if they're not saying thank you and gratitude. Thank you very much. But they're just charging in to say, let me bring you to God. And you're like, wait a minute, I just put some money in the collection plate. I literally just brought food to your house. I just taught you how to do something. And all you're doing is throwing scriptures in my face. We are living in a world where now we have a new type of jealousy and competition. Power. And it doesn't matter how you bring it. We are in a power competition. I want to show how powerful I am by how much I can help or be able to know when someone needs this or someone needs that. Spiritual narcissism. And this is why you have to hide the bones to your work. Because people think because they are born and they have a soul, they have a spirit, that they're entitled to all your bones. I'm one of God's children too. So I should be able to have all these bones for free and get whatever I want out of these bones. Spiritual narcissism. This is why if you're going to go after your money in 2025, you better learn how to go at it under contracts only with other people or by yourself. Stop thinking you have friends. Stop thinking you're cool with anyone. Stop thinking that only way you're merciful if you show somebody how you did it. You're merciful just by the fact that you're showing up and letting them see the results. Because if they really want it, believe me, they'll study you nice and good. They'll study you nice and good. And that's enough. And that's something that I learned. Like, I know people who are studying my energy constantly. There's a woman y'all know I told y'all about. She's studying my whole way I pause, talk. She's trying to tap into my frequency. It's not working. She wants my bones. She wants to know how I'm getting this information. So she's following my, movements, body language, personality, frequency. The reason why it's not happening is because your bones are directly connected to your life experiences. It's connected to the checkpoints that you reached with obstacles that you've gotten through. And it's different. So don't worry about somebody figuring out your bones because they sitting there studying you. Just make sure you don't make it easier for them. You hide the resources related to your bones. Okay? People are going to figure you out a little bit. They're going to figure you out and say, ha, I kind of know a little bit how to do it, a little bit, because I was watching you all day. Y'all had to laugh about that. Ooh, child. People are going to say that. But don't be make people spend 10 years trying to figure out your bones. That's 10 years you get in the bag, okay? 10 years you get in the bag off the results. Make people have to invest some years into you before they know a little bit more into how you're doing it. That way, you can provide for your family. And hey, they started to become family. They had to spend years. Michael Jackson hung out with the Beatles. But I can bet you all my money the Beatles never, ever let Michael Jackson watch them create. They might have sat around talking to him. But I can tell you, they never let him watch. And I recently figured out that that's where the biggest delays come from. It's not actually from your narcissistic friends or family or traumas growing up. The biggest delays is that you're too exposed. So I really hope that everybody takes this seriously. It's a new year. You can always start over. You can set some new groundwork with yourself. Okay? Get some grounding with everything. Go into January. Say this year, I'm not gonna be just giving so much to social groups. Um, I'm gonna keep in mind that someone's always listening. I'm sitting around technology. Someone's always listening. Neighbors is listening. Family members are listening. Someone doing mirror magic is listening. Someone that's doing cards on me is listening. You know what I found? Found out on how to hide your bones even more from parasites, spiritual, psychic, parasitic people, is to actually live a life in which you go on feelings and you are not documenting your process. When you document your process, the metaphysical space picks it up. And then somebody taps in. Okay? Somebody that's been tapping into you, and they get to grab some of it. And you say, how did they know my bones? They know some of my bones and didn't even see me. So I no longer write down my process. I'm not writing it down. I will die with it in my head. Let me tell y'all something else I found out. There's another form of dark art witchcraft that's connected to that. That's connected to why some of y'all are procrastinating and with doing your bones, working with your processes and stuff. And why some of y'all will be like, oh, I'm going to do it, and then you don't do it, even though you got the bones there in front of you. People are programming people to use a certain process, to like do it at a certain time and process when God did not choose that for them. So let's say that you there's a certain way you go about doing it, right? But you go to a life coach and the life coach say, you have to do it at this time. Okay? And you have to show up like this. And you have to use this stuff to do it. They might be telling you the right way for them, but it's not for you. Maybe the reason why it's not working is because you are synchronized with that person a little bit too much. How you're doing it may not be synchronized, but the time and what you're using is the same. And your approach is the same. So you're in a spiritual power struggle with someone. The teacher who told you when to do it and what to use. So you're fighting energetically to do it, to manifest. So this is why it's better to just be like, I know I'm memorizing. I'm programming myself to do it a certain way that I chose, not because you told me to. Not because I see your results and you're telling me to do it that way. Not because of that, but because this is how I feel I should do it and when and what to use to do it, because I can feel that it's right. And I'm just going to remember it. I'm not going to write it down. I'm not going to write in no journal. I'm not going to write down my goals. I'm not going to write it on the board. I'm not going to do that. I'm just going to store it in memory. Matter of fact, I'm going to spend some time just remembering the process. I might even, if I write it down, I'll take it to the woods somewhere where I'm protected because the trees will protect me. I'm going to be away from civilization. I'm not going to be near no one's home. I'm not going to be near technology. And I'm head out a piece of paper with the bones and the process, and I'm going to memorize it. I'm going to memorize it. Because if you memorize it, you will always be a lot of steps ahead of the imitator. You'll always be it. They got to keep coming to you to have refreshed their memory, because they're being fake. But you are the original creator, which means God will give you a stronger ability at remembering it. Okay? Hi Moa. Great day. So remember your process so that people have to torture you and beat it out of you to get it. They should have to kidnap you and tie you up out in the basement and force it out of you. That's just how important your process and bones are. You don't need, if you're a card reader, no one needs to see your cards. No one needs to know what guidance it came from and what elemental energy, none of that. No one needs to know how you was able to understand the work of Earl Nightingale. No one needs to know how you figuring things out. Only person that needs to know is the person that put food in your mouth. That's it. They're keeping you alive. Whew, child. That means they want you to keep doing your work. If they're keeping you alive, if they're willing to feed you without hurting you, then they want you to continue on your mission. But even still, you need to be careful. Okay? I am actually taking all my journals with all my process, and I'm locking them up. I'm locking them in. I'm going to be taking them journals out of here, and I'm putting them in a box, wrapping it up in the black basement, and putting it down in the basement. I don't want none of my process in this metaphysical space. Because I know there are monitoring spirits and demons and low vibrational earth spirits in here, and ancestors that are low vibrational, and family members who are toxic. And I know they will not respect my boundaries, and they'll pick up a metaphysical version of my process journal and pass it on to some of these karmics on YouTube. Just to get even with me. Just because they jealous that I still have life and they don't. Just because they think that they're completing a soul mission that they think is the same as mine. Just because they jealous the fact that I'm living longer than them and still able to do my mission and they can't do theirs. See, y'all, you never know. You never know what's around you and what's watching. So whatever your processes are that you're writing down, whatever your bones are, you're better off not having it where you create. Where you create. There's a guy who's a ghost hunter, y'all. He proved that ghosts can actually see through books and envelopes. They can see inside of the envelopes. You say you put stuff in an envelope and you sit it on a table and you say, oh, well, the spirits can't see it. They can look right through it. They can see inside your wallet. And if you got demonic energy around you, demonic spirits that want you in poverty, and they see you got a wallet full of money and a wallet full of gift cards, what you think they're going to do? They're going to sell your process to the nearest low vibrational person that don't know what they're getting is coming from the devil. Y'all, this video is so true. So true. So, I got an email from somebody on the channel who told me There's people that keep on showing up with her bones, basically her ideas and stuff. She don't understand why these people keep showing up. And I told her it's because like when you're releasing it somehow, when you're in the air, it's being delivered. So I was telling her like don't don't really put it out there. You know, let me tell y'all something. And I know some of y'all may not realize this, but one of the best way to protect your bones is to create in the dark. Create in the dark. I know y'all think the opposite. I know y'all say, no, the light in the room protected. No, it don't. No, it don't. I couldn't explain why the shadows of your room, why a shadowed room, a candlelit room will protect your bones more than a lamp lit room. I can explain that, but that's in another lesson. Now that I will put in a PDF. Okay, but I will never teach how I figure these things out. There's ways spiritually, psychically that I get this information. Okay, meaning how I connect to the angel guys that's with me. Meaning how I use my own cosmic energy to get this information. I will never teach that. Now I will show people how to do it for themselves, but I will never teach people how I do it for me. Do y'all see what I'm saying? If it's something that's going to bring you abundance, you can't teach people how to do it. All right? You can tell people what to do, but you can't teach them how to do it. How you figured it out. That there's a big difference. So for example, if I went to help somebody, understand their cosmic energy or their spiritual or their soul contract, I would tell them like here, there, different things about it. But I would never show them the process of how I figured it out. Because, of course, then they'll go around being me. They'll go around, and then let me tell you, some people don't think that your bones is sacred. They will pass your bones down to other people. So you say you give somebody your bones, you give somebody your process as a gift. Some people don't even care. They'll just give their process to somebody else. I made the mistake of showing my process for the sugar snake diet. The sugar electrolyte water, the sugar-based snake diet. I put on this channel like some years ago, like a couple years ago. And then before I knew it, all these people were showing my process. Like there was different people like, oh, add this sugar, add that. I'm like, wow, why did I do that? When I should have just sold it. I should have just sold it. But I should have sold it for a while. I should have just got my money before I did it. But there is a version of the snake juice diet that I created that I have never shared, and I never will. I might sell it, but anyway, that's something different. So I really hope y'all take this seriously. We are all vibrating. So you do have to keep track of how often you're putting your process into the metaphysical space. So let's say you have your process on your laptop, and then you have it on your phone, and then you have it on a notebook. Okay, that's like 6 different vibrations, all those different vibrations of all those different sources that your process is in. Of course, someone's going to get it. Of course, someone's going to get your process. It might be your jealous neighbor. It might be your worst enemy because they're tapping into you all day, strong as they want to tap into you. Hi, Tyrone. Now, if you want your process in front of you, If you want your process, your bones, and you got to have it in front of you, you have to distort the vibration in the room. Okay? You have to distort it. So it's better to have some sort of annoying sound, okay, playing on your TV. You know, you can keep putting it on at random. Or you need to have got your third eye cleansed or protected. As they say, receive the body of Christ if you're Christian. You go to church, you get your ashes. Then the process, the memory of your process is more protected. Okay? Or you need to be protected by wood. See this? Some type of wood panel. But if you are using your bones in your process, your steps and all that, your work, creative process, and you're using it in the kitchen, it's not protected. It is not protected, y'all. And there's really nothing you could do to protect it in your kitchen. You may be like, oh, I'm so inspired. Okay. But one thing about trying to protect your bones in the kitchen is that you have to do a whole lot to even try to stop it as it's being, taken. There's just too much you got to do. And that's for a workshop. That's for a workshop. So I got so tired of having to do this and that and this and that to protect my bones. So I decided to only create where there is a multiple voices around me, which is a library, or where there is a lot of wood around me, okay? Or I am way far from civilization. Like up in Alaska in the mountains somewhere. Other than that, I won't even talk. I won't even think about my process. Like when I go in the kitchen now and I go to the kitchen to eat, we need to respect. We need to learn how to respect why God gave us different rooms. Why God gave us different parts of our life in space and rooms. God did that for the protection of our soul work as well. Okay? Yeah, it might be easy accessible to go over and make dinner because you're already in the kitchen. But somebody going to be feasting on your process while you're eating dinner. Yo, I'm just saying. So, John, what's his name? I forget his name. He's a famous life coach. He talks about keeping things where they belong. The bathroom is not for your creative process. The bathroom is for using the bathroom. The kitchen is for eating. The bed is for sleeping. Now, I ain't gonna lie. Some people will be like, I get creative ideas in the bedroom. Now, if your bedroom is empty and you only have a bed and you have, you're not near no windows, you don't have no mirrors, there's no technology in there, your bedroom is like an Asian bedroom. Okay, then it's probably protected. Okay, more protected. But other than that, if you have an Americanized bedroom, it's not protected. Okay. All right. So if y'all enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. Also, space within space. Okay. That's a whole nother video, but we'll talk about that. If you'd like to learn more about me, about protecting your creative process, which is like your bones, like the brick and the stone and the things that you're using to build, and also the knowledge that you have. If you want to talk, if you want that, you'll have to join my workshop. That way I'll know who's all getting the bonus extended content. Okay? All right. If y'all enjoyed this video, feel free to let me know. If you'd like to send a cash appreciation gift, you can send it to my Cash App at @Coach V Hunter. This is your takeaway guidance. Always watch the time. Look at the time when you are using your process. Because if somebody else shows up with your process, you pretty much know around the time that they was tapping in. So then you know when you need to protect yourself more. So the moment you start looking at your process, your resources, you're working with your knowledge, or your outlines or templates, you look at the time. Always look at your scripture number. You write that scripture number down, and then when you're done, you write down that scripture number. This way, this way, you can pretty much guess when someone's going to, when you can pretty much also guess when your ancestors are assisting you, and you can pretty much guess when you probably will your work will be under attack. Because don't get it twisted, the enemy is watching the clock. They're watching your clock. Okay, thanks for watching, everybody. If y'all enjoyed this, feel free to let me know. If you'd like to send a cash appreciation gift, you can send it to my Cash App at Coach V Hunter. I do want to say congratulations. Some of y'all are taking some big steps, and the groundwork that you're doing today, the work that you're doing today, is going to be very important for some sort of big financial abundance in the future, next year. So you have to have a purposeful day today. If you haven't started, you better get started. Okay? All right, bye, everybody. See y'all later.